Well, hello everybody! Before we begin, let me just check the audio. Okay. Audio seems to be good, I just need to bump it up a little bit. So, hello everybody, my name is Kickerlin, I'm not Blake with a voice changer. I am a separate person. My name is Dino from F1, and today we are going to be streaming F2, and it's going to be racing on the Australian circuit known as Albert Park. The race was first in 1985, and since then the layout has quite changed. It has changed two times, once in 1996 that remained up until 2021, when it again changed for the upcoming year of 2022 with the layout that we currently have with 3 DRS zones. The tire range is not like in real life because it's still not 2024. It's the C2, C3 and C4 tires still going to be used, so slightly harder than the ones in real life. And there are, again, the intermediates and wets available if they are going to be needed. So yeah, we are just waiting for a few more people and then we're going to go underway. And actually, as I say that, we are going underway. Oh, hello Luke, you're right back. Yes, very nice. Yes. Give me just a second, need to... there we go. I think you should be heard now. So yeah, Luke is going to be commentating alongside me for this race, because there is bound to be chaos, because one thing I forgot to mention is that we also have a sprint race for today. The normal rules still apply with a short qualifying, but then that sets the grid for the sprint, and the sprint results are going to set the grid for the main race. So we are bound to see a lot of carnage, with maybe, like in F3 yesterday, some wet qualifying to dry at the end, and then a dry sprint and a dry to wet to dry race. What kind of things are you expecting, Luke, out of this race, watching F3 yesterday?
Well, we saw the sprint was unreal. We had so many good fights at the front in the sprint, so that's going to be something to look out for.
Indeed.
That's always a possibility that we will see some more good fights at the front. I mean, I don't know. I haven't kept up too much with F2. I mean, I've watched it every week, other than the fact that I just listened to the lads at Ferrari raging of the EC, which is fun. Sure, they'll love me saying that.
I mean, whenever someone drives a Ferrari, you could say that, but I mean, you are also racing in Ferrari in F1, and you're currently winning everything in your sight, so maybe to some people it doesn't really apply to that.
I'll do that sometimes. Sometimes I like to win a few races.
And a few championships as well.
Yeah, to be fair.
Well, only a few, not the most out of anyone in this league. Nah, never.
Never.
As we see, actually, our first guy out on track, it is going to be Harry Spanswick, and Haas, who has quite a, no pun intended, quite a big gap between everyone behind him, as we see one of the Ferraris also heading out of Marko Djordjevic, and AlphaTauri, Alpine, and Williams.
Got the sprint qualifying format, so I think we're only going to see full-on people pushing soft runs here. Sometimes we see people on mediums. And I've also got a report that there will be no rain in this race. So we're looking at 3 dry sessions, which means full DRS running in all of them. Meaning we're probably going to see some great fights all the way through. So that's going to be something to look out for. So let me pull up the YouTube stream chat and see what people are saying. Probably nothing, but...
And
David said that Marco's going in a wall on that one, and he said your name, but not mine, so I'm a bit offended. I guess he's too used to my voice, me being his teammate.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. And we can go on board with Harry Spanswick as he's first to set a lap, going already ahead of turn 1 and getting a pretty good exit into turn 2, touching the inside curb, I think, which can sometimes unsettle your car, but if you can take it correctly, it can also gain you a little bit of time, even though it's not really the optimal line. Getting squirmy out of turn 4 and out of turn 5. Let's see where... Pretty good line into turn 6, I think that is. Purple Sector 1, which is, of course, because he is the first guy out on track. DRS opens up for this long straight, actually the longest of the track. Going into the very difficult chicane of, I think it's 10 and 11, I'm not really sure. 6th gear there, nearly flat out. Very nice lines, actually, there. You can sometimes afford to cut the chicane a little bit, but it is very inconsistent, so he's definitely taking it safe. Getting held up a little bit by a Mercedes in front of him. Oh, yeah, fully held up. I think that run is going to be over, unfortunately.
My guy will slipstream to the line, although no, that is horrible, that dirty F through the final corner. Unfortunate for Spanswick there, looked like a decent run, 17.9, I reckon that would have been about 17.5 or 6, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that could have easily beaten the F2 pole time, or the F3
maybe be a
pole
bit
time.
more aware.
Indeed.
Right, what we got? We got a Ferrari coming round, which is Marco. 44.5 middle sector, that's pretty good to be fair. For reference, on a lap I would do it at 16.2, I'd normally be at about 43.8, so it's about 7/10 down on that, coming into the final sector, so, I mean, if you drove a perfect final sector you'd get a 16.9, but I'm guessing probably like a 17.3 or 4 here for Marco. I'm completely terrible at guessing. I guess he just didn't have a good final sector. I didn't see the right-hander, which he has been struggling with. What about Mitch? About 4/10 slower and trying to find every wall possible, but luckily doesn't succeed in doing that for now. I probably shouldn't say for now, I'll probably end up cursing him, as Corey will be next to the line. F3 driver into F2 and does an 18.2. Lots of 2s today.
A lot of people also behind, getting huge slipstream by the Red Bull, as we have a new provisional pole with the Aston Martin of Zivot with a 17.6 flat. That is a pretty solid time, beats the F3 pole time by 2/10, but we can't really take it into account because it was still quite wet at the end of that session. But so far, so good. Pretty good session here, and close in front. Let's see if anyone else is gonna cross the line. Borden by April, unfortunately hasn't validated that lap, but I think he's gonna go for another one. And
I think the next car is Tyler, all the way back in Sector 2 at the moment, who's on a valid and legal run. Maybe the Alfa Romeo in the final sector. No, never mind. So yeah, it is Tyler. Currently matching Marco through the middle sector, actually slightly down on Marco's time. So let's see how he does in the final sector. Chucks it into the right-hander. Not the best minimum speed, but overall the corner was taken pretty well. Misses the apex slightly there, and then into the penultimate corner. Pretty close to the apex, about 2 or 3 millimeters off. Clips it nicely through the final corner and on the throttle well. For a lap, that will be a 17.7, so yeah, close to Marco. I think he gained a bit of time over the Ferrari in the final sector, so that is decent there from Tyler. Of course, the current championship leader as Anthony Bogg into the gravel there through the squared off right-hander. I don't even know what to call it. I think it's turn 12. Let's have a look at a track map. Help me get my bet.
And while you're checking that, I think John Ahern is just about to cross the finish line, getting on the final corner, opening the DRS. Let's see what time he is going to set. Not having the best starts of the season, and his time is a 1:18.423. Puts himself last of the current finishing times.
So the chicane is actually 9 and 10, and the penultimate corner is 11, as we got Lucas joining us as well from F3. I need to quickly tell him what car to take.
And speaking of that, we do have some F3 reserves for today's race. I think about 3 people, which you've already seen. Corey in the McLaren, Jack and Charlie, I think. One in the Alpine and the other in... I can't find him. Maybe he's not actually reserving. I thought he did. My mistake. As we see Galaxy Dark in the Alfa Romeo, just about to cross the finish line as well. Getting a bit squirmy on the exit, but still not the worst. And unfortunately, that's gonna be an 18-9, P13 and 12 for the Alfa Romeo lads. They are definitely gonna want to improve near the end of the session, as we still have 10 minutes remaining, so still a lot of time for people to set another couple of laps.
Yeah, I think most importantly, people just need to be getting the time on the board now. They've still got a nice middle run for themselves to do that, as Lucas has saw my messages there. It's a fast lap from Andreas into a 17.2 there, and we're starting to move closer to the 16s. That is a strong lap from the Aston Martin, and that is what you like to see. Aston Martin 1-2 provisionally at the moment. They had this briefly last week. I think they were both provisionally 1-2 until I believe Dinand took place on the front row for a bit, and then I don't even remember who qualified at the front in the end. Dinand again, good qualifying today so far in 4th. But yeah, Aston Martin been really strong on quali trim this season. Speaking of which, Vincent has just started another run. Let's see how he will do in comparison to his teammate. Keeps you in 4th gear there through turn 3. That is something you can do if you're struggling a bit on the traction. It doesn't cost you too much time, as he's 2.5 tenths up in sector 1. Drops it to 5th for the right-hander and throws it in nicely. Not quite using all the track, but probably doesn't want to push the limits flat out yet, as he would ideally like to grab a healthy improvement, especially when he's already found 2.5 tenths in the first sector, as that's going to be 3 tenths now into the fast chicane. Gets the line pretty decent, didn't quite cut all of it, and then sort of straddled the curb on the exit, which is quite inconsistent. Sometimes you'll not lose time from it, other times it'll scrub off some speed. I mean, it depends how much of the curb. If you only take a bit of it, then you sort of get onto the rough stuff, and unfortunately it costs you a little bit, but it seems to have negotiated everything else quite well. Sector 3 looks good, and we'll get a distant tow from the Alfa Romeo, although it's probably not even going to give him a 1,000th, and goes behind his teammate by just under a 10th.
Definitely a really fast time. We've seen them getting really good qualifying before, as you've already stated, and some 1-2 performances, like in Imola, if I remember correctly. So they are definitely looking good for this Grand Prix already, and for the overall constructors and maybe driver's fight. So let's see what they can do in the sprint today. Let's see if anyone else is currently on a lap. Mitch Snape in the Ferrari seems to be on one, but I think N4 is just about to cross the line first, while the McLaren behind him is getting a slipstream of Corey while he is starting a lap, as N4 doesn't really set a good lap time. He probably made a mistake, as Corey behind him gets squirmy. I think he's gonna be pretty angry that he's not moving out of the way.
I think Jan's gone back to back, and Corey hasn't realised that, trying to latch on and tactically get a slipstream, but doesn't realise that the Red Bull is, well, going again.
Indeed. Corey's gonna have to back out.
Could have put himself out there slightly.
He's gonna have to back out and do another one, which I think he's not doing. He's still wasting GRS. That's very interesting from the McLaren driver. Let's see, Mitch Snape, as we stated before, was on the lap. He's just about to cross the finish line. Is he going to improve? Currently in P10, goes to P9, improving by 1.5 tenths. Still quite a small margin between the next car ahead of him, but compared to his teammate, 5 tenths is not what you really want to see, as you mainly want to be beating your teammate first and foremost.
Next up's Harvey, and well, Harvey's had some good runs in quali in F3, and that's a 888 from there up to P6. That's a very nice time for the Mercedes. Although we still got a lot of people out there on the second run, so we'll see how he stacks up, as Marco has backed off. I saw he was improving quite a bit, but is not going to be able to secure the lap. Lucas Hodes is invalidated. So next up would be Harvey's teammate. And the full-time driver in this tier, F8, who is going to displace him in 6th place and slotting 1 thousandth behind Marco. A lot of drivers in the mid-point 7s there. And yeah, pretty closely contested. The Aston's just with a bit of a breakaway at the moment, although I am expecting Tyler to get up there, although if he's trying to cut turn 1, then he's not going to have any success because you don't want to cut turn 1 because the curb is inconsistent and you can invalidate. So he's going to have to go again there, unfortunately.
Indeed, the championship leader currently in the Drivers' Championship, he will definitely want a better time because I don't know if you see this, but
yeah, John's jumped into the 0.7 as well.
Yeah, five people in the 0.7s. That's pretty crazy, in my opinion. That's gonna be a really close grid with 5 minutes remaining. We are probably only gonna be seeing the final runs of qualifying, of course, depending on how many softs are gonna be used. And Tyler is just going quickly into the pits. Let's see. Yeah, everyone's really going in. No one's really on laps. Cullen going in the Mercedes. Yeah, everyone's going in.
Yeah, everyone's going to be earning. John just finished his. Marco invalidated again. Tyler is currently on an invalid run as well. And Lucas is not got the battery on. Oh, Tyler's crashed in the pit lane.
Oh. Cow?
That is not good for the Alpine driver. He's carried too much speed into the pit lane and smashed it in the wall. We saw this in F3 yesterday from Jamie, who did that in the race, bringing out a late safety car. This time Tyler's done it in qualifying.
Interesting, maybe rushing a bit too much to get into the pits. That is very unfortunate. Let's hope that he doesn't lose any more positions, but seeing how close it is, I think it's going to be inevitable to drop down, so he will have to now hope that he gets a really good start in the sprint to get some positions off the line. But his teammate...
improving 2 tenths middle sector.
Indeed. Let's see what he's going to be
able to do. More in the final. He could be moving up a few places here.
Pretty nice exit.
Looks good through 11, corner. Yeah. Pit wipe through 12. It's not going to be too detrimental. 13 hooks the apex nicely, on the pillar nicely. And a very nice run through the final corner as well. Looks good. Bit of grass for a good measure on the exit. That's an interesting tactic. And improves 3 tenths, jumps up to 12. Missing out on P11 by a few thousandths there.
Not too bad.
Seems to be a bit of a common theme here, people missing out by a few thousandths.
Indeed. I think my stuff is... wait, yeah. My telemetry got disabled somehow, or I did it. But the Alpha Tauri driver of Lucas Hodes, the other championship contender, is... oh no, he's in F3.
No, he's in F3.
But he spun.
He's contending for...
yeah, I got
he'd already just finished his lap, so I think he would have been going again. Anthony Bogdo's P16 Alfa Romeo back row lockout. Not having an ideal season for them so far. Learning new assists and everything, so I think it's a bit of a learning curve, this one, for them.
Indeed, but someone in the mid-pack of Harry Spanswick is currently on a lap, improving by a 10th in the first sector, getting a little bit of slipstream out of the Alfa Romeo, moving out of the way. He has the Alpha Tauri, driver of Lucas Hodes that we were saying. 2 tenths improvement from both of them combined, getting an interesting line out of turn 9 and 10, braking at exactly 50 meters, third gear. Very nice exit there. Could have been a bit earlier on the throttle, maybe even 4th gear for better traction, but still pretty nice. 2nd gear for extra rotation before the penultimate corner, as Lucas just fully...
dropping like a dick into the pit lane.
Indeed. As he goes P3!
P3 though for Spanswick.
That's a really good time, yeah, I agree.
That Alpha.
I didn't know that we were able to curse on streams.
I had to mention it. Also, look at the final sector right now. We got half the grid in the final sector. So that's going to be interesting.
A lot of people are
Everyone's
gonna have
starting laps and
to.
everything.
Indeed, they are gonna wanna have clean air, but they also don't have a lot of time to cross the line, so they have to move in quick. As
Callum doesn't seem too happy with his teammate, or his normal teammate. He said, "Oh Tyler." Yeah. Oh Tyler, indeed.
let's see.
Here we got out there. Putting some times in. Harvey Conway's in sector 1. He's one of the first ones to start. Got Marco behind him. And Mitch ahead of him. Marco's not actually directly behind him. But leading all the way out front is on the Alfa Romeos of George. So he'll be coming to the line first, so we might as well watch him first.
And while we do that, I'm just gonna quickly check the audio, because I think something's messed up.
That was an interesting chicane. To say the least. Anyways, into turn 12, cuts the red bit on the inside. That's not advised, but I mean, he's learning no line, so I'll cut him some slack. Let's see how he does out the final corner. Bit of grass on the tyres. That's not going to help for rotation, unfortunately. And up to the line, it's going to be into the low 18s and 18.4 boots. He's still ahead of his teammate. Sorry, doesn't beat him. Mitch is. Put it in a wall out the final corner.
That's
so Harvey will be looking at him thinking, what is he doing? As Harvey goes P3. That is massive for Harvey. What the? He's flipped that, you know. Andreas goes faster. Marco goes to a 0.4 as well, up to P4. And who else? We've got Dean onto the line. Next goes second. Almost displacing Andreas at the top there. That's unfortunate for Dean. And just missing out, but still a very strong lap, as here comes FA around the final corner next, and all the gaps are closing down there, the grid becoming closer and closer as everyone's setting more laps, and FA will be last actually, but jumps up to P5 with a 0.4 as well.
Honestly, I think the most impressive driver here is Harvey, the F2 driver, getting P4 in this qualifying session. That's very, very close against this grid that we already stated is incredibly competitive. I think that's an incredible qualifying job by the Mercedes reserve there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of incidents, which is kind of self-explanatory, but yeah, on pole we have Ade in the Aston Martin. Alongside him on the first row is going to be Dinand in the AlphaTauri. Right behind Zavot and Harvey in the second row. Cullen P5, Marco P6. Definitely will want a better result after that qualifying session. Harry Spanswick P7, Tyler P8, the Green Racer P9, and Caleb in P10, rounding up the top 10. We have N4, Niki Lauda, Mitch Snape, Lucas Oates, Corey, Anthony, and the two Alfa Romeos at the back. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, so, Tyler, I think the biggest outlier to look at there, starting P8. I think he'll be too pleased with that after crashing in the pit lane. Probably had the opportunity to go a lot faster, but well, he's going to have to do some work now. He is starting in a point Spain's position. He'll get 1 point if he doesn't move any places. Although we saw turn 1 yesterday, I'm expecting someone sideways, as it kind of tends to be with corners, or well, turn 1s like this, where it's a high speed. People going deep, people going aggressive, trying to make up places, and normally end up losing them, to be honest. But I guess we'll just have to see. I'm expecting everyone to go for mediums here, as the softs die after 4 laps. The soft medium crossover specifically is about 4 or 5 laps here, so the mediums are fast enough to stick with softs, and you will. Oh, we're going to the lights. Sorry. Anyways, 5 red lights. That interrupted me, and we are underway here. No, we're not. Now we're underway here in Australia. What a great hole that was, and it's a good start from Vincent, although the second phase isn't a good start, and that's Harvey jumping straight off into P3, and he's going to go down the inside there. Harry Spanswick getting caught out, and there's carnage in the midfield as someone's gone sideways on the exit of the corner, but I think they've managed to keep it facing the right way as an Alfa Romeo framed at the back. As into turn 3 we go, and we got side-by-side action between FA and John here, as John's going to keep ahead there, although FA's got a 5-second 3-second time penalty for corner quitting game of place, and Marcos has a tragic start and already got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, down to P12 in that Ferrari, and getting shoved off all over the place onto the gravel there, and into the wall, and that is his sprint over. And it's a VSC as well.
Well, that is already quite unfortunate for the Ferrari driver, but at least no major incidents other than that one from the line. Already 2 penalties for Marco and Cullen. I think it was a 5-second for some reason.
I think both are removable. Marco
possibly
got shoved wide twice, and he got shoved wide at turn 4, which is notorious for giving like 12 warnings in one go. And I think FA was avoiding the spinning car of Spanswick, so sort of had to go off the track to sort of not get caught up in any of that. Spanswick still facing in the right direction, still got a car that functions for him, fortunately, after the some light contact in turn 1. So, not overly too much carnage. I think we'll only see Marco into the pit lane here.
Yes, he is indeed. He's probably gonna get to the softs. And speaking of the softs, 2 other people are also on softs. Our leader and Mitch Snape, who opted to go for the softs while everyone else is on mediums.
Sure, got a penalty for corner cutting under safety. I don't know how he's managed that.
That's incredible.
Is Harvey going to get a drive-through today like he did yesterday? He'll be looking to avoid that this time around as people are starting to pick up the pace, and we are underway. Harvey has messed that up entirely though, and lost himself quite a lot of time. And Vincent's going to close in a bit on him there as Dinant on the mediums is really keep in touch with Andreas. I mean, I know we've only had a few corners of racing, but very close to the back of the Aston, and DRS is soon going to be enabled as Tyler moves up ahead of FA. And keeps it nice and clean through the chicane as well with that move. FA's not going to give up fighting this one too early though. Battery on and trying to go around the outside. Although breaks a bit deep into the corner, Tyler manages to hold the inside line and cover off any potential attack from the Mercedes there.
Keeping it definitely very clean there, as Harry's now trying to enter that fight as he gets a pretty good exit out of the final corner, which will give him the benefit of doubt with the speed. This track is also pretty interesting because some people... Oh, as he goes off. As I was saying, you can...
safely, yeah, he's good.
Yeah. He's good, but now he's under pressure by Caleb down the inside. They leave each other room. And that is a very nice move there from Caleb in the McLaren. But as I was saying, this track is very infamous with the differences of the setup with the high downforce and low downforce setups. Because you can gain a lot of time with both instances. Which do you think that the drivers are mainly prioritizing?
I think it's important on the sprint weekend to go for a lower downforce setup, maximise the race, as you want to be able to make sure you can fight. As Andreas has used all the way down to 40% battery here at the front and gap to Dinant, although, like I said, those soft tyres, as soon as they start to die, fall off a cliff. So if Dinant doesn't continue to lose too much time, he would... I think at this range currently, he's not at any threat of not having a chance at winning this, as... one thing you will have to note is cars behind closing in on him as he's made a mistake in that final sector, lost a few tenths, and Harvey's right on the back of him now, and here comes Vincent as well. Are we going to see anyone make a move into turn 1? It's not really a favourable overtaking place, whereas turn 3 might just be a bit more favourable as Mitch picks up a 3-second time penalty on lap 4 here. And no moves looking on for anyone. I'm just going to have to sit behind patiently for now as Dinan's in a wall and out the race. Is that a safety car? It is.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. It seems that he just lost the car on the exit, probably getting a bit of an oversteer moment and just couldn't save it. And he got himself into the wall. I think he got himself in the on the racing line, that's why we have a safety car. Unfortunate there for the AlphaTauri, as he was looking very good to win this sprint after the softs would have died out, but now somehow Harvey, the F3 reserve, could win this race.
I've just realised something. David said in the chat, Marco in a wall on lap 1. Marco was in a wall on lap 1. But Marco is now going to be back into this.
True.
Once again. Oh, yes, Jack. Exciting so far. We're having a pretty interesting run. I wonder what Andreas is going to do. Andreas stays out. That's going to be interesting because those softs are going to be rubbish at the end. Mitch is he doesn't want to stay. He's straight off in the pit lane and getting on a fresh set of tyres to attack from the back. Got a time penalty and thinks putting on another set of softs he might be able to make some inroads.
FA in P6 still has that 5-second time penalty. Is that, if I was him, I would have at least boxed to remove those 5 seconds because he didn't really seem to have the best pace, but also not the worst. And maybe if pitting for fresh softs, he would have maybe even made more positions and maybe got a better race result if he would have boxed. But,
I thought we might have seen someone go for a bit of a risk with it, to be honest, somewhere in the pack. But I think for Andreas, it's more of a case of he doesn't want to give up that track position. I think he's happy to take the fight. I think his tyres will still be better at the moment, because obviously we had VSC and safety car running, although the gap, or the delta between the two tyres will have changed significantly. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to brake again. He's got Harvey behind this time, so someone different to try break away from, and his teammate in P3, so I mean, a bit of teamwork here. Vincent could try put the pressure on Harvey, create a gap for his teammate by doing so, and then pick his own way through, and Aston could get a 1-2 here, although Tyler will be quite happy to be up to P4, I think, in this at the moment. Maybe he's going to try something.
Indeed.
He's just rolling it around in neutral for a bit there.
People in chat asking if they can join mid-quali for the main race if the game does not let you.
Yeah, no, the game, yeah.
And yeah, someone asked if you can get 5 seconds removed under the safety car. Pit stop. You can remove the 5 seconds.
Yeah, you can remove 5 seconds under a safety car, yeah.
And at least you can box under safety car, not like in F2, that sometimes they allow it and sometimes they don't. So it's pretty consistent. Yeah. But yeah.
Marco's going in for another fresh set of softs.
I mean, pretty smart, but speaking of Marco and the Ferraris, they are definitely not having the race that they might have wanted. Both of them in P15 and 17. Mitch having a 3-second time penalty definitely won't help him at the end result. Marco as well, but I think we said before that he just got pushed off, and with the game awarding 20 penalties by being off at some parts of any circuit, I think that could get removed if it's necessary and if it's reported.
Yeah, any penalties like that can be removed, so yeah, we'll see. Mitch Lake Wash, no, he decided to rage over some game. Well, he could have done practice and decided not to do any practice, so I mean, there you go, there's your verdict on Mitch.
As we have the safety car coming in this lap, which was expected, we're gonna have 4 laps left of this race to see who will win the first sprint race of this season.
Hello, Roger. Well, we got some different comms from now on F2. We're going to be mixing it up every week. Since we decided why not, let's just get everyone who used to the comms back on the comms and swap it around every week. So you'll be hearing some familiar voices commentating over F2 over the coming few races, or well, the rest of the season in general. So here we go then. Andreas leading the way from the front. Can he get that breakaway again? It's going to be harder for him this time, but if he times this right, he should be able to do it well. Although Harvey looks to have matched him well off that restart, only losing about 3 tenths there, and everyone's got the battery on. Turning it off a bit later down the straight when they realise that what's the point in wasting the battery when you're not going to get a move into turn 1 anyways. As Vincent very aggressive off the exit of 2 there, and he's going to go straight on the attack on the Mercedes driver. Can he get to the inside? Decides to back it there, doesn't want to throw his car into a dangerous position, as no, it's just a case of, I think some people are starting to realise that while it is nice to go for the points in the sprint, it does also determine your grid position, as Jan there has been spun round at the back. So that is unfortunate for him. There's a bit of a gap forming between P11 and P12, which is Mitch, but I'm sure that'll probably close up as Tyler on the attack here. He's going to try get alongside on the outside of the chicane, although no chance you're going to get into a position to warrant any sort of racing room there. But I think just trying to potentially force a mistake, trying to make the move easy for himself. Breaks late around the outside into 3. And he's held it there really nicely and got ahead. As there's a McLaren off in the background. That's Caleb. And, well, there you go. Tyler up into the podium places. He can now look to attack. I said just as the safety car was coming in, I think Tyler will potentially look to attack as Harvey all over the back of Andreas here. And, well, the F3 driver could pick up back-to-back sprint race wins as Mitch sets the fastest lap of the race here. That's an interesting one, and also gets past Caleb for P11. I think, unfortunately for him, though, the time penalty will cost him. And positions he has gained so far, as everything starting to settle down a bit, except for at the back. We've got Alfa Romeo's going side by side and crashing into each other.
And still going side by side and fully
that's going to be a lot of penalties for Joe. Going off at turn 4 that wide.
That's incredible.
How many specifically? He got 6.
That's very nice from the game. I think now for the Aston Martin driver who's leading now is the case that those softs last until the end of the race, because Harvey is still keeping behind him, which means that those softs are still in a pretty good stage, but it all depends if he can make them last, as he has quite a few cars behind him, as we have a huge DRS train starting to form. He's off! He's
into the gravel! And he rejoins, luckily in a safe place, only his teammate really there, who's actually just going to send it around his outside now. And a big mistake from Andreas there. That puts Harvey into the lead, but he's there got Tyler behind him, who's going to be looking to go on the charge, as we got yellow flags for the Alfa Romeos in Sector 3. And what can Tyler do here as DRS will be enabled as we head on to the back straight? Well, that is going to be interesting. Marco's in the pits again. Down the inside goes John here. Not really left room, though, there by Andreas. And not too sure on that one, as Harry Spanswick almost pushing Gefe there, and this is going to be interesting. He's not going to try down the inside there. That's ambitious. And now he's going to get absolutely annihilated by everyone. Lucas Hodes and Charlie Gordon in particular. The F3 driver's moving up here. Jan's binned it, and a swap for the lead as Tyler moves up into the lead. But back to this fight, what's going to happen into turns 9 and 10? It is going to be John ahead of, not John, sorry, that is John, ahead of FA, followed by Harry, who's going to send one to the outside. Kind of off track in the process. Is Charlie going to potentially look for a move? Not really close enough there. And everything kicking off right at the end here as we head on to the final lap of the sprint. Mitch down the inside on Lucas Hodes up into P9 there. And Harvey has saved his battery way better than Tyler here. And I think this could be a deciding factor. We'll have to see, as will Harvey go for turn 3 or will he wait? Although he goes wide into turn 1. And that's going to allow Andreas to come back at him. But he's not got any battery to fight with. And Tyler could break here. As further back, we've got the two McLarens side by side now. Coming into turn 3, round the outside for Caleb on Corey, and Caleb will make that move stick. Corey not wanting to fight it too hard. Can Tyler get that gap as Mitch has got a penalty? More penalties, oh my god, that's like 4 penalties in one go there. Both John and Harry picking up penalties for themselves, and Harvey misses out on DRS, and that's going to put him potentially at pressure to Andreas here. But I think Tyler's got this one in the bag. Harvey using everything to try and create a gap here. Can Andreas nail the chicane is the question, as he's going to not really be close enough here. Harvey's getting a distant tow from Tyler as well, so that's going to keep those two in 1 and 2 there. As here comes Harry Spanswick, sends it on the inside of John.
Fully pushed
and kind of forces him off the road there, and it's also going to lose him position to Charlie and maybe even Lucas. Mitch trying to find a gap in there, and they're going to be nearly 3 wide into the penultimate corner. And it's just going to be a race to line. Mitch goes round and can't really do anything about that. As up to the line, who's going to be ahead? It's going to be Charlie into P6, and he's going to jump up to P5. Lucas Hose gets P6. Corey in P7. And that is 4 F3 drivers in the top 7.
Incredible. That was very close there at the end. A bit aggressive from a lot of the drivers, especially Harry Spanswick pushing John off into turn 11. But overall, everyone kept it pretty clean. As, yeah, Tyler has currently won the sprint race, and he is going to start first in the feature race alongside Harvey, who's P2 somehow, the F3 reserve. He's gonna wanna maybe try and make a move down the inside in the first corner. Tyler, the driver of the day of the sprint, I don't know where he started. I don't know.
I'll tell you something, the experience they gained yesterday in F2 has really helped the mate here. As can we get a race director? We can get a race director. Oh wait, I'm not streaming. Never mind.
God.
It's not, it doesn't matter.
There's a lot.
Oh, we have gaps as well. Here we go. This is what I want to see. Oh my god, that's a lot of penalties further down. But if you didn't get a penalty, you did well.
Oh god, 17 seconds for Galaxy Dark.
Yeah, still finishes pretty decently up there. Mitch crashed on the line and it didn't count him as finishing.
Incredible. I think this will set up a nice prediction for the main race, if this is the chaos that we are expecting.
So what I said about F3 is, I think the experience they gained yesterday certainly coming into fruition there, and managing to get some big results in the F2 sprint. How are they going to fare against long distance though? This is a bit more familiar territory for the F2 drivers. They haven't done a sprint in ages. F3 obviously did the first sprint we've actually done on this game yesterday. We had 2 in this season to, you know, spice things up a bit again for the season. And well, all I can say is the sprints are delivering. So, you know, be prepared for them next game to see probably to a season again, because this has been fantastic in F3 and F2. Some pretty mental racing in the sprint.
Let's hope that they are gonna deliver tomorrow in F1. And speaking of that, you can watch that stream at the same time as this, as we have another 5 red lights. And we are underway, there we go, for the main race. Tyler gets a really good start, as Harvey is gonna get overtaken by the Aston Martin of Ade, but he's still staying on the inside as he's getting overtaken by the other Aston Martin driver on the outside. Into turn 1, we already have yellow flags. The Mercedes of FA is round, but I think Ade is trying maybe on Tyler. No moves yet. He's gonna stay patient, as behind we also have Corey side by side with an AlphaTauri of Lucas Holds. They get away clean as Harvey track extends a little bit out of turn 4. Fuzzy staying in P8, and so far so good. Everyone's taking it clean, as we already have
3 seconds.
How is that possible?
No, that's the difference. Says, by the way, look at the front 3 on softs. Here we go. Charlie, though, on the mediums, going to attack for the podium position here against Vincent. Can he keep it in there? He's not going to quite be able to, as amazing stuff from Charlie. What's happened there? Massive crash in the chicane. We got 3 or 4 cars off. I don't know what's gone on. Caleb's up to P6. I don't know where he's come from.
Mitch Snape, I think, has damage. He's missing the front end plate on the right side.
Yeah, looks to be. I think Corey and Lucas Hode's caught up in that. Yeah, Spanswick, massive damage off the road. And he is unfortunately just parked it in the gravel. Mitch has got an illegal overtake and damage himself. The Williams of John's got damage as well. And we've now got a case where we're going to have like 6 drivers in the pit lane on lap 1.
Massive crash there, as Ade is getting very close to Tyler as he fully cuts turn 1. That's probably going to be a warning. And both of them have a clear gap to the other Aston Martin who's in P3.
Tyler's under fuel.
Oh yeah, he has under fueled. Both of them...
Charlie's used off his battery as well, so I'll... one's using fuel, one's using his battery. Interesting.
Indeed, Ade is actually using some ERS at the entry of the back straight. Is he gonna try to go for a move? I think he might. No. He's gonna still stay behind.
Interested.
Indeed, maybe he's hoping for a mistake of Tyler into turns 9 and 10. Tyler, very good corner cut there into turn 10.
I just want to point out, Jan and Marco in P7 and 8 are up 9 places each.
That's incredible, as Ade nearly makes contact with the Alpine driver, nearly even going for a move into turn 12, but still staying behind. They are not losing that much time to the guys behind with this little battle they have, as the DRS is gonna be enabled at the start of the next lap as they cross the finish line, so Ade will have the DRS for the back straight, so let's see if he's gonna try to make a move next time.
Andreas looking really comfortable here as Marco's put himself in a wall, so I've cursed him by saying he's doing well. But yeah, Andreas looking really comfortable on these softs. I think the experience on that tyre in the sprint is really coming into handy here, as he's almost pushing Tyler through absolutely every corner. I have a feeling we're going to see him make a move and then potentially make some inroads away, as Charlie on the mediums is pulling in an absolute masterclass here.
Indeed,
I mean, he may only have 20% battery, but you know, he's in the DRS, he doesn't have to use as much, and this is going to be massive for Alpine in the constructors. Callum missing. Maybe he should just go missing every week. It's down the inside, goes Andreas into the chicane. That's ambitious. But I think it's gonna help him in the long run. He's gonna what? He's gonna get okay. I can't speak. A good run into 11, but it's not going to be good enough to put a launch and attack on Tyler there.
As the other Aston Martin has also now joined this fight, as saying it again, Charlie's getting really, really close. Keeping up with the soft runners so far. Very impressive stuff from the Alpine reserve there. As let's see if Ade is gonna go for a move into turn 1. No, he backs out of it, breaks a little bit early, trying to get a really good exit out of turn 1, which he does get. And let's see if he's gonna use it here. Yeah, he's using DRS around the outside. Is Tyler gonna leave him the space on the outside line? Oh, both of them are drifting! I didn't know that we were watching Tokyo Drift, but somehow Tyler still stays ahead, and no crash happened. Somehow they both kept it clean.
So close between the two Astons and Tyler there. They're almost nose to tail here, coming down this straight. This is where things are getting interesting. Andreas wants that move. Vincent's got the battery on as well. Are we going to see both Astons move past the Alpine driver here? And it's going to be around the outside for Vincent. Can he get it ahead? Nope, Tyler keeps that position. As, oh, Vincent out of shape on the exit there. And that's going to just about keep Charlie in, as they all went very aggressive there, using a lot of their battery. And Charlie just had to watch them zoom off into the distance, but he'll still be sticking around for a bit longer at the moment.
Indeed.
So front three are really getting aggressive here with each other, to be fair.
Indeed, as we have a close battle behind as well of Caleb and Red Bull event 4. Caleb getting very slidey at the exit of the penultimate corner, has no ERS. Let's see if N4 might go for a move into turn 3, gets a really good exit compared to Caleb.
Doesn't look to want to use battery at the moment.
Indeed, but Caleb is defending the inside, trying to try not to give any slipstream for the Red Bull, and he's still gonna have to stay behind. They do have a very big gap to the guys behind with the Alfa Romeos of Galaxy Dark and Dark Wizard. So they can afford to lose a little bit of time. And speaking of that, FA has done a move on Dark Wizard for P9. I think it was around the outside of turn 4. Very impressive stuff. As now Anthony Bogg is also trying to go nearly on the same move. Those hards do not look good on that Alfa Romeo car at this stage of the race.
Jan does get the move done there. And moves up into P6. Tyler's fuel situation, by the way, is potentially a lot more concerning than we thought. He's over half a lap under on fuel currently.
That's interesting. He's definitely over for safety cars, as they are still going to battle here, going on the start-finish straight, but looks like Andreas is really running a nice slowdown for Setva as he gets very on the other end!
Into the wall. No, he keeps it out. Never mind. I thought he was going straight in then, but his teammate made a mistake, and then he made one too, and Tyler's just shoved him off there, and Andreas kind of aggressively shuts the door on him. I mean, fair enough. Tyler did just kind of push him out the way. He's also run wide and potentially picked up a warning there.
Very
and
nice.
I'm just saying, you know, no.
N4's in the wall. Jan's in the wall.
Oh dear.
And he's again in the wall.
And even with that, he's only just dropped a few places. He's also complete. That was close with the Alpha.
Murdered.
By the way, the Alfa Romeos, hello.
Having
Where
a really
have
good
they come
race
from
so
in this
far.
race?
Kept it clean and P7 and P9. See, they should have done that in the sprint as well.
Oh, here comes Tyler down the inside. That's aggressive. That is very aggressive, Tyler. As Charlie. You know what? I'm going to say what I didn't want to say. Charlie's in the best position in this race by an absolute mile.
Indeed.
Are we going to see an F3 driver win in F2?
We nearly did in the sprint race with Harvey. Charlie's looking incredible with the race pace. Even better than the current championship leader of Tyler. Which is mind-boggling.
He hasn't been making mistakes either, unlike the other two in front of him, who have been sliding all over the place from time to time. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, Tyler is running wide everywhere, somehow.
Yeah. Oh, Jansen, that's...
In the pits?
In the pit lane, okay.
Yeah, I think it is in the pits. As we see a battle at the back with Harry Spanswick and Dinand for P13. Both of them have penalties, but Dinand just got a really bad line out of turn 1, and unfortunately will still have to stay behind the Haas driver for now.
Tyler's fuel is only getting worse at the moment as here comes Joe Calvi to the outside of Vincent. Tries to hold it in through the chicane, but kind of has to back out that one. That's going to invite FA. He's going to get up into P7 there. And these guys just keeping it clean, keeping it out of the way of other cars. Have, yeah, it's absolutely benefited here.
Indeed, a really
as
nice
Charlie once again dropped out the DRS, but to be honest, he'll probably be back in quite soon. Those softs are going to be absolutely screaming in a lap or two.
Indeed, the pit window should open in a few laps' time for the soft runners, while the medium runners can afford to go until the halfway point of the race and presumably go for hards. You can maybe do a medium soft, but it's not the best of strategies.
Charlie.
As yeah, Charlie gets a 3-second time penalty as we see FA trying to go around the outside into turn 3.
Spanswick spinned it in the final corner.
No safety cars or virtuals.
What? How's that not a safety car? It's just a car parked.
I have no idea. As FA's made a move around the outside of Andreas, I think that is. Oh,
Tyler
no, that's
going
Vincent.
into the chicane! Okay. That is interesting, Tyler. And
He's
now he's
gonna
going to
try to go down the inside.
11.
Is he gonna make the move down the inside? He does.
I think Andreas went for a switchback and kind of turned into his rear tyre there. It's unfortunate, but I think what what he was expecting, because he's seen it a lot. Tyler normally, or this race in particular, has been braking very late, and Andreas, that was close. There goes an Alfa Romeo round. Yeah, I literally just randomly accidentally clicked on him and he went right. What I was saying is, I think I've completely lost what I was saying.
Well, at least
Tyler's been going deep into pretty much every corner to defend positions, but the one time he doesn't, Andreas expects him to, and kind of covered that one off as Charlie so close here. I think he's gonna have to use some battery off this exit here. He's hit the grass, you know.
He has also gained quite a bit of time. I think the soft tires might be going off. He did gain 3/10 to them in the last 6 corners, or in the whole first sector. He's gained a lot of time on them. As we have another yellow flag, it's again the Alfa Romeo of
George.
George, yes. Very unfortunate as he was having a really good race as he
Oh,
gets
and there's a
every
time
second.
penalty as well, you know, for good measures.
Indeed. As yeah, Charlie's nearly in the DRS of these guys. If they keep battling slightly here, he might get it again.
I think Tyler's holding Andreas up, by the way. I think he's driving slower to get Charlie in. And he has done it. Andreas pits.
Indeed, that is kind of the optimal time to pit, and he's probably gonna go for hards, I would actually say. I don't think the mediums can go to the end from this point. Let's see.
Find out. It is mediums.
It is the mediums. Interesting. As we have another yellow flag that's didn't in the exit of turn 11, or turn 10. That is very unfortunate for him. And yeah, let's see if Tyler is gonna cover him off now. Pit at the end of this.
Andreas is right into traffic here.
Indeed, no contact made, which is very nice. But with the cold tires, I think Corey might want to make a move here until the Aston Martin heats up their tires. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, as I was saying, let's see if Tyler is going to cover up the pit stop of Andreas and go for fresh mediums. And he's currently now trying to make a move on Joe Calvi. Speaking of Andreas, using all of his DRS that he has and opening the DRS, and that's going to be a very easy move on the back straight.
That could be crucial for him here, because if Tyler goes in now, he could be behind potentially both of those cars, maybe even Anti-Bog as well. That's a penalty there. And that is not what he would have wanted, as Charlie's now being released into clean air as Tyler comes in. Kind of had to be fair. Didn't really have another option. Got to cover off.
Corey and Joe make contact into turn 12. I'm sorry for interrupting, but nearly both of them crash into the wall. But somehow they are they are still racing. Somehow.
Oh, here we go. Side by side at the pit lane for Tyler and Andreas. And Andreas will say thank you very much. And Tyler's got a penalty now coming out the pit lane. Oh dear. Well, that I mean that helps Charlie out.
Indeed, actually.
Those two getting penalties isn't ideal for them. Although I guess they're on an even playing field with each other now. Tyler's 90% battery here. As oh, here we go. The Astons are going to swap, and then here comes the tactics. Yeah.
Giving him DRS as
Astons
well.
are swapping.
Anthony Bog getting a 3-second time penalty. Andreas will want to get clear of FA in the Mercedes as quickly as he can, so Tyler gets blocked by 2 cars. Let's see if he's gonna make it stick. I think FA is just letting him go on the inside line there on the back straight. Very easy move there by Aston Martin, and he now wants to clear as big as a gap as he can before Tyler has clean air.
Yeah, we've got yeah, Vincent staying it and going slower in the final corner. Tyler's just gonna sneak it around the outside. Vincent does have DRS and battery, but it's not going to be enough to really defend it. And now Tyler will be looking to get past FA as quick as possible. I think he's going to get it done on the back straight. I would personally, if I were Tyler, even if you're right on the back of that Mercedes, stay behind. The time you're going to lose by staying behind for the extra corner is, like, you're going to gain so much from the DRS.
And that's exactly what he does. Gets DRS and quickly moves ahead.
It's not going to make that hard for him.
But then now his problem is, he has a 2.5 second gap to the Andreas.
That's going to come down quickly. As George Hawes boxes and retires.
Yes, that is safe if you do that. So this is provisional P1 and P2 for both of them, as Charlie, Harvey and Caleb have still yet to box. They are probably going to box lap 19 if they wanna copy the strategy and go into the softs to the end. But we will have to wait and see, as both of them are actually, speaking of Andreas and Tyler, both of them are catching up to them very, very quickly. And they are losing quite a bit of time on those old mediums. As we see Vincent in the pits from his softs and going on to mediums.
Yeah, Vincent's done his job. Made it as awkward as he could, really, for Tyler. The tyres were pretty dead, so he couldn't really do much to try and help his teammate out. However, the 2-second gap, I'm sure, is much appreciated.
Corey and
Tyler's
Anthony.
got some work to do.
Corey and Anthony side by side into turn 3. Oh, Corey trying to switch back into turn 4, not really getting the best of exits. Also losing the backhand at the exit, and he's gonna have to stay behind, but he will have DRS for the back straight. Let's see if he's gonna be able to make the move. Anthony has a lot more ERS, but let's see if the straight line speed of that McLaren is gonna be enough to do it, as Marco gets a 3-second lap penalty, and yes, that McLaren is rapid on the straight, and that's the move done. And P7 for the McLaren.
I just want to say F3 weren't this bad for penalties. I don't know what F2 are doing today, but they're struggling to keep it in the track limits, I'll say that much.
Trying to exploit the stewards and the track, it seems.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, Tyler's still about half a lap under on that battery. He needs to get in DRS of the cars in front. And he's also just cut turn 1, so that's not going to help. And Andreas is going to be looking for a move on Caleb, although if Caleb can get in the DRS of Harvey, then Caleb might prove a bit more difficult than he looks at the moment. And I think he is. He's going to do it.
let's see if he does.
No, he's not. No DRS for Caleb. Andreas is going to fly past here, no problem.
Yeah, he was using a little... Oh, defending the... Well, somewhat inside line of that straight.
One in the middle there,
Yeah.
and Andreas just having to swap to the other side to get round him. Yellow flags AlphaTauri, Dinand. Not an ideal race for Dinand after such a strong qualifying performance, as Andreas now looking to put the pressure on against Harvey here. Is he going to try and move down the inside? Probably not. Best still just wait for the DRS. As Charlie goes into the pit lane, and so does Harvey. So Harvey helping Andreas Conda there with the DRS. Tyler not quite managing to get it though on Caleb, so I think it's going to be more time that Tyler will lose. And he's also now got not really any sort of way of saving battery, unless not battery fuel, unless he can catch up to Andreas, which might be a bit of a task.
Joe Calvi's also in the pits as he
Dinan's
gets a
retired.
5-second penalty.
Safety car.
Oh! Interesting. Let's see if we can catch where he has crashed. That's the straight after turn 5. Let's see how he crashed from Maddie's perspective, and he just disappeared. Very nice.
Charlie's in a really good place here.
Oh yeah, Charlie's gonna box now for
He's now right on the back
he's
of
on
them,
hards.
and he's on fresh tyres. So Andreas and Tyler, I mean, they have the gap to box and go for a fresh set of tyres. I mean, if they have another set of mediums, get them on. It's worth the track position you'll lose, which will be 1 or 2 places maximum. Maybe even just 1 to Charlie, honestly. But yeah, I think if I'm the front 2 here, with the gap you've got, the safety of being able to box is 100% worth it here.
Honestly, even if I was at Charlie's position, if I had fresh mediums, I would choose fresh mediums and stay away from those hards. As we saw in the beginning by the Alfa Romeos, those hards are not good in the beginning stages. Yeah, they are in. Let's see if anyone else is going to follow them. Oh, of course, FA is going to follow them. But let's see if anyone behind.
Charlie gonna box? No, he stays there.
So he's going to value track position, but he will be on...
Harvey also values the track position, same with Caleb.
Oh, Ade and Tyler are on hards. They don't have fresh mediums.
Ooh. And I mean, Charlie's an AP too on those hards. Although I feel like we might see a swap from the Alpines potentially.
FA and Corey on softs.
FA's on softs, and Corey's on softs.
That's gonna be interesting. I don't think they're gonna go to the end unless they want to drive with a puncture. I have experience of just standing still with a puncture on the final lap, on the final corner. That was fun. So I do not advise being on softs, but maybe they can they can prove us wrong.
Those softs, they're gonna absolutely carve for everyone. They're gonna get past everyone, get to the front, and by the time they get there, their tyres are then gonna be absolutely terrible. And then they're just going to go directly backwards, and it's going to cause absolute carnage, and I am fully here for it, honestly.
Indeed, indeed. As we're still waiting on a few more people to get to the safety car train, mainly Marko Georgievich, John Hearn, Mitch Snape, and
Mitch just
Lucas
put
Holmes.
used softs on.
Well, that's even worse than fresh softs.
That's an interesting one.
It's really impressive
they're not making it.
Definitely. It's very impressive that people think that they can make softs go to the end of the
Or
race.
maybe he's just using them for a lap to then put on another set of tyres that'll be even fresher. I don't know.
Honestly, I hope that's the case, because that's a really interesting Ferrari strategy, which is very in line with Ferrari.
Got some hard runners further back. No one has fresh mediums, and this is the case. Anthony Bogg is in an absolute blinder of a position here on those fresh mediums. He's got the best tyres to the end out of anyone.
We can also say that FA and Corey are gonna wanna get very quick positions, because ahead they only have a medium runner, which is 4 laps old, and then hard. Oh yeah, he's going in. That's good. And then the hard runners ahead. So both FA and Corey are gonna wanna make moves in the beginning stages of the restart.
Mitch on fresh mediums. Here we go.
Honestly, that's really good. That's nice.
He saved a lap of wear off them. This is big for Mitch.
He did lose 3 positions, but this is going to be really, really good.
Oh, it's worth that. It's
Indeed,
100% worth it. He's lost positions to Joe. Lucas and John will be quite similar. They're like, to him, they're not. They've got slightly more wear, so probably have a pace advantage over them. And Joe's going to be, he's sort of. I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. Joe's going to do the attacking, and Mitch is. By the way, Mitch is currently locking all of his tyres while burning fuel. I just wanted to point that out. His car's shaking all over the place. He's managed to sort it out now, though. Although that would have killed his car. Are we going to see a late call here?
Maybe. I don't think so. I think the latest that it could be called is around this point. And it's already...
Yeah,
over, so I think we are gonna have one more lap. Maybe the soft runners are expecting another safety car. Maybe that's why some people are going on for softs.
Potentially. Yeah, safety car stays it.
Callum Lyons. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Predictions for the win, lads. You can go first. I have no idea.
Predictions for the wins. So basically, we've got to make a call.
I'm gonna call it because we've seen Ade making a few mistakes, drifting at some corners. I'm gonna predict he makes a mistake, and then we see an Alpine 1-2. Which Alpine? I'm gonna have my money on Charlie still, because he's seeming more consistent and more intact with the car, making less mistakes than Tyler, and then Tyler is going to be P2 and Harvey P3.
Right, so your prediction is boring. Tyler and Andreas are going to go spearing into the wall. We're going to have a safety car, and what's going to happen is one of the runners already on softs. He's made loads of places going to be up there on softs. They've not got penalties, and we're going to see FA win the race. There you go.
Well, if we want to be bold, I'm going to say, I don't know, let's see,
I would say
Anthony
Mitch is going to win the race, of course. Joe in
yeah.
Joe's winning.
Oh, he has 100%
I'm
chance
going
to win.
for the carnage route. I'm going to say FA's going to win. I like making it interesting, so I'll do that. I'll give the people an interesting prediction to dwell on.
If we go bold,
Yeah,
everyone in the top 9 crashes and Marco wins. Definitely,
No,
he
no.
doesn't crash at
If the
all.
top 9 crash, Marco is going with them. Let's be honest.
Yes, he's definitely gonna crash. As we are about to start the restart as a safety car goes in. This is the second time Ade is gonna lead the restart, I think. I'm really not sure. Let's see where he's gonna start.
We've had a penalty already. Oh, FA, you've ruined my prediction, man.
And there goes the
By the way, Charlie's got a restart here.
Is he gonna go for it?
Go, Charlie,
Side by
going
side.
to the inside. Is he gonna hold it in there?
He backs off. He backs off.
Should have gone for it. Would have been. Oh, here you go. Tyler's already like, right, you know what? You've had your effort, mate. I'm off. See you later. Down the inside, yeah. They swapped around.
You've had your time to shine, and now it's my time. And I'm gonna spin Andreas for you, and we're gonna finish 1-2. That's the ultimate strategy.
I don't think that's the strategy. Nah. Anyway, Vincent here on the mediums. Let's see what he can do.
He is currently on the better chance here. FA is 2 10s back from Vincent. Maybe he can also do something.
Maybe thought he'd be slightly more aggressive on those tyres. Charlie's already used half his battery. Harvey's used half his battery. Caleb's used half his battery. Vincent's used half his battery. Vincent's going down the inside. Vincent can't make it down the inside, and here comes FA on those fresh softs to the outside of Vincent. It's not going to pay off though, unfortunately for him.
He nearly makes it.
Oh, Charlie's nearly binned it, and that's going to create a big gap.
At least.
And here comes Caleb.
Podium. Yes, Caleb side by side with the Mercedes, but the Mercedes has the slipstream and the straight line speed, really fast. Even without the RS, as he goes wide, he fully outbrakes himself.
Oh, he rejoins Caleb! Oh, and there goes a front wing.
That was an Alpine 2023 incident.
Yep, nearly.
As Harvey still side by side with Vincent, and then FA somehow joins this fight.
Oh, Caleb's got a penalty for trying to be nice and move out people's way. Yeah, I'll probably remove that one.
That's nice from
I'll
the
be
game.
honest. It's not driver ever. It's driver choosing to not be cruel.
Oh, we are gonna see 3 wide between both the Mercedes and the Aston Martin.
I'm watching this on board with Corey. Corey's
yeah, same.
It's like 3 cars out of the race. I'll take a P4. Oh, this is carnage. Vincent off the exit, going for it on Harvey. He's not waiting around. FA doesn't want to wait around any longer. Is he going to send one in? No, he's going to focus on the exit. And the exit is going to be perfect for him. And he's going to get down the inside. There goes Corey on Harvey. Bit of contact between them two. Anthony Bogg all over the back of these two as well. Marco's watching this like, what are these idiots doing? As Harvey goes into the pit lane with damage, presumably. And Marco's now going to go for a move on Anthony up to a P7 for Marco off this restart. So he's making a few inroads here in this race as the front two still fighting away. Both almost even on battery. And, well, at least Tyler's not going to run out of fuel now. I guess that's nice for him.
As down the inside goes John Hernhoff. His teammate Anthony Bogg makes the move stick, or maybe he just let him past. I have no idea. But he nearly loses it at the exit of turn 5. Somehow still saved it, touching a bit too much of the curb at the apex of the corner. But he's still alive as we see Vincent and FA going for another run. FA going ahead of the Aston Martin as Tyler...
the leaders are side by side in the chicane here. Tyler cuts it. That's going to be a warning.
He still has DRS, but...
Andreas trying to get back past, but Tyler defending with the DRS open. Oh, this is interesting. By the way, look how much FA's just getting to Charlie. FA's on a charge.
That's the soft run, or the soft tires working really well. Tyler nearly crashes.
Oh my.
Very slightly at the exit of the penultimate corner for Tyler. Gonna give another run for Andreas. Sorry for interrupting you. Is he gonna go for it? Oh, nearly goes for it. Fakes a move down the inside into turn 1. Is he gonna try to go for it into turn 3 using ERS? Tyler a bit on the grass. That's not gonna help his apex speed. as he could go wide, but he still makes it stick. Still is ahead of the Aston Martin driver.
FA's setting one up here. I think he's ready to go past and then absolutely dump all of his battery. I think that's his plan here.
Indeed, at least for Charlie's sake, he knows that those softs are gonna be worn in just a few laps time, and he's gonna be able to...
Corey
very dangerous defensive moves from Charlie there! I think that could be penalized. That was two moves.
I don't even know what to watch here. There's a lot going on. We got position swapping all over the place. That is going to be FA up into P3. The leaders nearly swapped around as well. Andreas couldn't get it around the outside on Tyler though. And well, that's going to be FA up into the podium. Goes deep into the corner though, and that's going to bring Charlie right on the back of him. Can FA use the power of those softs to catch the leaders is the question.
The softs are already 6 laps sold. They are presumably already going to be around 30 to 40% wear, saved a little bit by the safety car.
Back of Tyler here. This could get interesting.
Mitch Snape also into P8.
Yeah, he's looking to the inside.
Contact!
And Tyler is round. Andreas off the road. Tyler into the wall with damage. And all of a sudden, oh, he's rejoined! Oh, he's absolutely cooked his teammate by that rejoin. That's a bit unsafe, I'll be honest, from Tyler.
And he's not letting his teammate through, even though he has damage. I don't know why.
Yeah, they need to swap here ASAP. This could cost Charlie that DRS on FA. As some things happen, Marco was up 2 places and down 2 places, and I don't know what's going on for P5. But yeah, Charlie, use the 2%, whatever you've got. Just go. Tyler's now essentially your wall. As if Charlie can stay close enough here, by the way. FA's tyres will drop off, and Andreas, well, he's got a penalty impending, unless Tyler moved under braking, so we'll have to have a look at that one. Didn't quite catch if Tyler did so. It seemed like just a bit of a late break in from Andreas, but you never know what could have happened. Tyler could have moved. Anything could have happened as Tyler goes into the pit lane.
You know, presumably, if Charlie stays within 5 seconds of Addy, if that's going to be penalized.
Wait, Corey?
Later, did they say Corey? I meant Charlie.
Oh, no, no. I mean, hold up. Corey, but I've only just realised Corey is...
No penalties.
Yeah, no penalties. In a really good spot.
Still on the softs, they will die out. He's out of DRS of Charlie ahead of him and losing time?
Yeah, but he's catching fast.
Not really, they're actually equal.
The gap was about 3 seconds, it's now down to 1.
I think the softs might be at the drop-off point, because he's sometimes gaining and sometimes he's not. So it's really on the crossover point. As Corey's gonna be under attack from Vincent. Vincent is looking really good, even though it's on the worn mediums. As he gets a really good exit out of 10.
Struggling off the restart on those mediums, although it seems to come to life a bit now. As he's going to make the move there and up into P4. Also no penalties for Vincent.
Indeed, he's looking the best to win this race. If he can just keep it clean. Those mediums are working really well so far.
I think they're going to die off.
We'll see. Still 6 laps of the race. Well, 5 now, as Addy crosses the finish line. Anything can still happen. We can still have another safety car, which can spin things around. But I mean, my...
casually trying to summon a safety car.
I mean, my prediction is already out of the window, so maybe it wasn't such a boring one as maybe it assumed it was in the first place.
Just out the window, yeah, I think... I mean, FA would have to stay within 5 seconds. Actually, no, wait, because FA got his penalty for contact. So if it was something like Carl slamming on in front, he could get that removed.
I thought it was speeding in the pit lane 5 seconds.
No, it was contact with Vincent, the safety car. So potentially removable.
Indeed, maybe he tried to avoid and then just couldn't and made contact. As we see Vincent side by side with Charlie into turn 9, round the outside of the Alpine. Brilliant move there. Charlie trying to use non-ERS because he doesn't have any. And he might also get under pressure from Corey, but Corey's just still trying to be patient here. But brilliant
Mitch
move.
is inside of John's rear end. There was no real better way of putting that, I'll be honest.
Brilliant. Marco's honestly coming back.
Oh, I
in
forgot
the
Marco's
Ferrari.
in this race.
Yeah. After a horrible race in the beginning.
After
and
every time I have remembered him, though, he's been in a wall a few corners later, so, you know what, expect him to be out Charlie, that's not ideal.
Yeah, that's a shame. Marco might go for a move into turn 3.
Is he feeling ambitious? No, he's not. Here comes Mitch, though, into turn 3. His teammate, he's all over it here. Wanting that move on John. And he's got that move on John.
Indeed.
And well done, Mitch. We're all proud of you.
The only problem now
John,
is that everyone else has
this is interesting here, by the way. P7, look at this. We got everyone head to toe. What is going on? We're going to see... Oh, by the way, look at the battery on Anthony Bogg.
Yeah, I see it. 100%. That's incredible.
Well, this is going to be interesting into this game. Mitch is flashing. The AlphaTauri's flashing. John's nearly flashing. Yeah, Anthony's he's just going to fly past everyone.
Mitch trying to go on the move on Lucas Holds. Got a really nice switchback, but because of no DRS, can't really do anything about it. Anthony.
I'm flying in the back of Mitch.
Mitch and Holt side by side into turn!
Don't do that! What are you doing, Mitch? We know you like an ambitious move, but that's stupid, not ambitious.
And he's still
what is that move from Vincent there? That's an interesting swap to the inside.
Both of them
both gone off track. Here comes Corey. Hello. Everything's kicking off. We got 2 groups of 4, and Lucas Hodes joins the penalty list in that group. Yeah, no, this is all over the place, this race at the moment.
Mitch Snape going down the inside of Lucas Hodes. They made contact. I don't think that's good enough for damage on Lucas Hodes' side, but he still makes the move stick, left enough room, and is now in P8. Outside of the arrest out of John, unfortunately, so he's still gonna be swarmed by everyone behind him.
Corey here could be on the attack against Vincent. Corey is on the attack against Vincent. Side by side into the chicane. We've seen this one loads of times this race. And there you go. Vincent ahead. Oh, not Vincent ahead, sorry. Corey ahead. Vincent trying to keep his nose in on the inside. Can't manage to do that. Marco close to the back of Charlie. But he's not going to be able to manage that. And Marco here honestly might just not care. He sees Charlie's got 6 seconds and the 2 in front have none, like...
Yeah, probably
I just don't think he's interested.
Probably just wanting to end the race as soon as possible.
Yeah, he's got P5 in the bag, he doesn't need to do much. As here we go. Vincent down the inside! And off the track, and that's a McLaren driving off to go park by a wall. Lovely.
Corey is going again.
Send it.
On the inside?
Corey doesn't send it.
Oh,
Charlie sends it though, right into his rear end.
Jesus.
What the hell?
That was nearly huge contact.
Yeah.
You know what I'll say? FA in P2, 4 seconds on 12 lap hold softs. Pretty good. And if Ade is gonna get 5 seconds for his contacts with Tyler, and Cullen can remove his 5 seconds, he's gonna win this race.
Currently he'd finish 6 seconds behind because he's got 2 seconds more penalties, but if his is removable then he'll beat him. Also Marco's gotten fed up with Charlie, I think, but he's just not got the speed in the straight there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if the F3 drivers are running like 24-17 wings or something.
Obviously, a move behind. Mitch Snape going down the inside of John Ahern into turn 11. Pretty nice move there from the Ferrari. As we are going on to the final lap of the race, Ade still winning with FA right behind. Well, not right behind, 5 seconds behind. And Vincent in P3, currently a double podium for Aston Martin, and we've seen that before already. So let's see how things are gonna shape up as Marco goes wide into turn 1. That's not gonna be good if he wants to finish this race. And people behind now closing in as well.
Mitch has got fed up with the cars behind him. He's gone ahead and I just don't think he wants to associate with anyone in that fight. He kind of just forces way through, or has been now, and you've now absolutely screwed yourself, Mitch. Well done.
Yeah, those guys are
So
gone.
that's Mitch up in penalties. John probably just got a warning as well, though, so you never know. As here comes Anthony now. He saved the 100% battery until the last lap, by the way.
And he's not using it for some reason. Why is he not using all of his ERS?
He's going to use all of it here, though. Well, they're both flashing. Oh, he's
And he makes a mistake.
He's gone
Brilliant.
into the corner.
Brilliant.
Lucas, oh dear. Oh dear.
John,
That's
late
unfortunate.
move on
Oh.
the flip.
Okay, John.
Kept it safe. As we see Andreas Ryman crossing the finish line, winning the Australian Grand Prix. Congratulations to him, as if he's gonna cross the finish line P2, but he's gonna get overtaken by Vincent for a 1-2 Aston Martin finish. But he still finishes on the podium. Corey's gonna be P4. Marco, after a horrible race, goes P5. John Hearn P6 after Mitch Snape gets a penalty, moves him down to P10 as Charlie goes to P9. Lucas Holtz P8, Anthony Bock P9. Tyler is going to be P11, just outside the points. Very unfortunate for him, as he was looking very good in the entire race until that contact with Andreas Harvey. P12 for the F3 reserve. Looked good at the sprint, unfortunate in the main race. And was it Joe Calvi in P13? I think it was.
Oh, I think so.
Marco, driver of the day. Didn't he start? Oh yeah, he DNF'd in the sprint. He started last and finished P5. Honestly, yeah, that's a pretty good drive from the Ferrari driver. Pretty impressive stuff there, I would say.
Considering how many times he put himself in a wall.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not that. Incidents. Honestly, not a huge amount from the sprint race, because the sprint race somehow still had a lot of warnings and penalties. And like you said, still more than F3, which is confusing. But yeah, pretty interesting race. It was not too bad. A lot of stuff happening all over the place. It was very, very interesting. Just one question, are we gonna hold interviews or not?
I don't normally do interviews.
Ah, okay.
Especially with it being a sprint as well, it takes a bit longer, doesn't it? So,
Oh yeah, true.
yeah. I think other people after that race will probably want to get themselves going as well.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense then. Let me just check a few things. Okay. So, if you have nothing else to say, we can round things off here.
Yeah, no, I ain't got nothing.
Okay, so thank everybody so much for watching this stream. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did, and the race, of course. If you want to keep up with the GRS stuff, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with the same link. They're also in the description. You can also join our Discord server, where we plan these kinds of events and league races, also social races, and currently in the making events coming up soon. So if you want to be a part of this community, there's a link in the description to join the Discord server, and you can join us. And if you want to help out as well, staff applications are open, and if you want to race, the normal applications are also open. You can join all the 3 tiers depending on your pace. No assists don't really matter, but depending on your pace, you're going to be placed in that specific tier. We are racing the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the same time, 7 PM UK time. So look at your calendar and you can join us if you want to. And that's really about it. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for the F1 race. Have a good night and see you tomorrow.